Hello, this is a different sort of video to what you expect. You normally expect this big finish, but I've sort of gone sort of a nostalgia down memory lane, whatever you want to call it, because David Tennant is returning to Big Finish any day now, and that is really exciting. But the main inspiration for this video is this, a pair of maroon Converse. Now, to us Doctor Who fans, we know that those are the shoes David Tennant wore with his blue suit, and yes, when I got them, it took me back to that childhood state. It took me back to my childhood, and I found myself rewatching the 10th Doctor stories like Forest of the Dead, Silence of the Library, Lazarus Experiment, Midnight. I found myself, Army of Ghosts, Doomsday. I found myself rewatching those sort of stories, and I feel like I should go on a 10th Doctor marathon. And yeah, when I put those on, you just want to run, and yeah, they're pretty good for running, these shoes. But this is sort of me just talking about my sort of childhood experience and growing up with the Russell T Davies era, and just talking about how great it sort of was and how fond I am, fond memories I've got of it. So if you've got sort of fond memories of you growing up with Doctor Who, then comment them down below, because it'll be very interesting to hear your thoughts, your sort of memories really, because this is very much a spur of the moment videos going, yeah, wouldn't it be great to do that, and here I am. So yeah, though John Pertwee is my Doctor and always will be, my childhood Doctor is David Tennant. I grew up with him because when I was at primary school, David Tennant was rocking the TARDIS, and when I left primary school, David Tennant left the TARDIS. And when I started secondary, Matt Smith started, and when I left secondary, Matt Smith left, and when I started college, Peter Capaldi began his reign in the TARDIS. And I think that each era of Doctor Who has sort of been sort of a change in my life, represented a change in my life, and very much a change in me as a person, how you develop, because you change as you get older, as Matt Smith said in his regeneration speech. But I think going back to the David Tennant years, it was the best time to be a Doctor Who fan, because you had Doctor Who was everywhere. Wherever you went, Doctor Who was there in some shape or form. We had such fantastic stuff. We had loads of merchandise. I remember when you used to go to Toys R Us, and they used to have like the big banner, and you'd walk in and they had the big Doctor Who banner with like LED lights and the Sideman eyes and that was just incredible. You just had like a whole big wall dedicated to Doctor Who, where if you go now, it's just like a little small section. And it just shows how times have changed, because everybody loved Doctor Who back then. Everybody loved the 10th Doctor. Because I remember, my nickname at school was the Doctor, because I was a Doctor Who kid. I mean, on a Monday when we come back, once Doctor Who had aired, I would sort of do a little review of the episode with the whole class. It was just me talking about the episode, and my teacher would ask me what do I think about Doctor Who of the episode, and we'd just have a discussion in class about that until 1:15, where we'd go and do assembly and that. And I would sort of give the latest Doctor Who news, and the one bit I really remember is telling them about the Naimon, that they would be in the planet of dead. Do you remember that rumour? Yeah, I do. And it was just great, because I remember everyone would want to play Doctor in the playground, and everyone would fight over would argue, should I say, not fight, that's a bit bad, isn't it? Kids fighting over who would be the 10th Doctor. And I would be the weird kid going, I shall be John Pertwee, and I'd used to run around saying I'm driving Bessie. That was just the happy days, really. And my school used to go on sort of trips to went camping, and I was just like, no, I'm not going camping, Doctor Who's on, I'm not missing Doctor Who. So that's the reason why I didn't go camping. But my teacher said, can you record Doctor Who and we will watch it the day we get back? And that episode was Stolen Earth. And I was in charge of videoing the Doctor Who episode, because we didn't have BBC iPlayer. I know I sound really old fashioned. I used to get videos from Tesco, and I would record the episodes until the DVD came out. And I think the last episode I recorded was I think it was Beast. Another thing is waiting for a Doctor Who episode, because I feel like when you get older, time just goes by so much faster, and you're just like, blooming hell, time is just whizzing by. But as a kid, that wait for Doctor Who in the week would just be absolute torture. I mean, every Thursday I remember when they had like the updated website for like Series 4, and yeah, that caused a lot of panic going, I don't like this website. When they changed it back in 2008 for like Series 4, I didn't like that website for a bit. I was just like, I don't know how to use it. But they used to release little clips on a Thursday of said episode, but the episode I remember vividly watching the clip was Sontaran Stratagem and getting really excited about the Sontarans returning to Doctor Who. Because I just remember seeing General Stahl just pop out of his teleport and just taking off his helmet, and the 10th Doctor doing that bit of speech about Sontarans, and that got me really sort of pumped for the episode. Another thing what would sort of help you through the week as a kid would be, again on a Thursday, I remember, was a programme called Totally Doctor Who. Yeah, I remember that and just absolutely loving it, because they'd sort of do like behind the scenes on some of the episodes, sort of like a confidential for sort of kids, and they'd show a clip of the episode what was upcoming, which was great. And it was, I honestly did like Totally Doctor Who. And you used to pick up Doctor Who Adventures on a Thursday, and just have the lowdown on that episode as well. So Thursday was a great day. Next up we have merchandise, and we have books. Yes, this is when the books are in their heyday, because we don't really get many Doctor Who books anymore, really, in terms of new series. But I always got in trouble at school because I would only read Doctor Who books. I was literally stuck just reading Doctor Who books, which is not a bad thing, because it's good to be addicted to something, but not drugs. Don't do drugs, kids, because you've got Doctor Who, and that's a better drug, and a healthier drug. Because I'd only read Doctor Who books, but I suppose my argument looking back on it is, Doctor Who, each book is different, you know, each episode you watch, it is different, because Doctor Who can do anything, you know, it can do any genre, and I think that it teaches aspiring writers how to write for different genres, because obviously each week is different. You know, one week it can be an urban thriller, the next it can be, you know, pure historical, and then next it can be just a sci-fi, an urban thriller, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I think a Doctor Who helped me how to write and how to read, because it's such a big part of my childhood, and I think that I'm always going to take away that, but it sort of helped me in education, because I remember doing presentations on Doctor Who, and talking about the different eras of Doctor Who at the age of 10. So Doctor Who definitely caught me from a very young age. But the bit of merchandise which I always loved and was at its peak in the Russell T Davies era was the figures. Yeah, this is where it sort of come to over, because kids, they were playing video games. Pfft, not me. I was making my own adventures with these Doctor Who figures. And that sort of explains why I've got so many Doctor Who figures, because I didn't get video games, or PlayStation, whatever you want to call it. I got Doctor Who stuff, and that caused a lot of mums at my primary school to be jealous, because it's like, I can't get my kid away from the Xbox. So they were very envious of me, because I was living, you know, a traditional childhood, as it were, playing with toys and just being very creative. Favourite sort of figure as a kid, that's a hard one. My favourite, I just adored the monsters, but my favourite figure as a kid, I suppose, what in terms of like David Tennant stuff, was the Cybermen. I just loved them. They were just great figures. I did love the werewolf. The werewolf was a great figure. I just love those figures. They're just great, aren't they, the figures? And you know, obviously, when a new series was announced, was beginning to air, you'd get the figures. You know, about episode 9. you'd get the new wave of figures. I remember getting like the Series 3 figures, and like getting the Jadoon Captain, Martha and Linif all in one day, because I'd been away again on a school camping trip. But thankfully I didn't miss Doctor Who that time because it was only just for a night. So on the day of return I got those figures and that was just a great welcome home, and of course I got Doctor Who that day and it was Blink. I was a bit gutted. I've never been a fan of Blink, but yeah, merchandise, it was great back then. So that basically concludes this video and leads us up to the 10th Doctor returning to Big Finish. Now I can sort of relate, now I sort of understand the feeling when Tom Baker was announced on Big Finish, that it's literally going to take me back to my childhood, and it's taken many people back to their happy days when they were a child when Tom Baker returned to Big Finish, and I feel that having David Tennant back on Big Finish will be very much the same, and it'll be my first experience of nostalgia, and I'm quite happy that it's happened 8 years after they finished, because it'll be quite daunting saying they're back after 20 years with 10th Doctor and Donna, and you think, okay, I feel old now. But I'll tell you one last story before I wrap this up, really, is this sonic screwdriver, the original one, the 9th Doctor one. It's quite battered because I used to play with it in the summer holidays and just every time when I come home from school. And this sonic screwdriver has been through the mill because it survived the washing machine and it still sort of works. You can see that, there we are. No sound, it's just a little weird light thing there. Yeah, so there we are, another bit of merchandise. But yeah, I'm quite excited for the 10th Doctor adventure. I know there is a danger of overhyping it and it turns out to be rubbish, but I hope it doesn't, because it's Big Finish, and yeah, I just hope that they haven't bit enough more they can chew. Like the last adventure, that was overhyped and it turned out a bit rubbish really, so I just hope that the 10th Doctor just doesn't fall down that trap, because it is very much my childhood being reimagined and coming back to many people, and it's coming back to our ears. Yeah, it's very exciting. So that's very much this video. I hope you liked it. If you have any childhood memories of Doctor Who or any nostalgia things that make you just flood back your memories, comment them down below, because it'll be very interesting to hear those thoughts, and yeah, isn't that exciting? So my next video will not be a Big Finish review, it will be of a review of this sexy thing, the Spearhead from Space Steelbook. Doesn't that look gorgeous? So I look forward to finally doing a proper review of this, because I reviewed it way back when, but now I can finally do a proper video on it. Yeah, first DVD review of 2016, and it's about time. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and bye bye.